Good morning. Welcome all Towers residents that's watching on TNN to our Activities Committee meeting on March the 11th, 2025. It's now 9 o'clock and I'll call this meeting to order. You all have a copy of the February minutes and we need to approve these minutes. Do I hear a motion?
I move we approve the February 11th minutes.
Thank you.
I second that.
And the minutes are approved. I'd like to welcome our committee members. Kathy Ritchie is out today. Merlin Judd, Kathy Ryder, and Judy Howard, Hospitality Subcommittee Chair, are here, along with Bruce Hooper, our board rep. And of course, our wonderful activities panel and Veronica. Thank you for taking the minutes for us. This is our last meeting before the new board comes into effect, so I've enjoyed it very much, and we will see what next year brings in April. Let's see what our activities committee's been doing this year. Judy.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. The hospitality subcommittee has been busy. For the January birthday and anniversary party, Mary Dickensheets and Sandy Nelson reported 33 birthday residents, and 3 anniversary couples were invited, of which 19 birthdays and 1 anniversary couple attended. We will thank Mary Williams, Nita Schweitzer, Bitsy Condra, Gary and Veronica Drew, Martha McDonald, Paul and Trudy Campos, and Regina Clear for donations toward refreshments. Charlotte Stan was honored for her 105th birthday, and Alan Butcher won the drawing for a free Gardenia Room lunch. 84 residents were served by 10 subcommittee members. Kim Kerrigan reported the card team sent in February 26 thinking of you cards and 1 for condolence. Please contact Kim when you know of someone who would appreciate a card in a stressful time. At the New Neighbor Coffee, March 4th, 40 residents enjoyed muffins and coffee served by 8 members, with no newcomers having moved in during February. Kathy Ryder, Betty Jean Ingram, Kim Kerrigan, and I participated in the Involvement Fair on February 5th to encourage residents to join our group. Our next meeting, to which all residents are invited, will be March 31st at 10 a.m. in the conference room. The neighborhood coffee will be April 8th in the Ped Mall at 10 a.m., and the birthday and anniversary party is tonight at 7 p.m. That's not correct. It's the same night. Come and enjoy your neighbors and some delicious treats.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. When you brought up about the cards, I also want to tell everyone, if you know someone who needs to go on the prayer list, I want to remind you to get with Robert and Celia Croteau, and they will put someone on the prayer list. Okay. And Merlin.
Here's my rather short report for February. On February 12th, we had an Alzheimer's presentation. Many residents enjoyed this educational presentation by Dr. Grant Garbo. He discussed the progress being made in treating this form of dementia. On February 14th, Valentine's Day party is always a popular event. All residents were happy to celebrate love with a delicious menu and dancing to our favorite band, Tobias Band. The decorations were lovely and provided a romantic backdrop to a fun evening. February 19th was the rodeo party. I think it was a good idea to change from the rodeo breakfast that we've had in the past. The dinner menu was especially yummy, and it's always fun to dance to the Lone Star Pickers, our second favorite band. Actually, these are my favorite band. They provided the best country music, which is perfect for the rodeo.
Thank you, ma'am. Kathy Ritchie went to a few activities during the month. She went to the Chinese New Year celebration Residents enjoyed a delightful Chinese New Year with the Chinese themed buffet. Many compliments were made to the chef on that wonderful buffet. After dinner, everyone went in the Ped Mall for the wonderful line dance in the form of the performance for the Chinese culture. The participants were from young children to teenagers to adults. The Super Bowl party and the potluck supper, Club 22, was a great place to enjoy that. Residents brought in all the dishes, and we even had some Super Bowl pot winners. Valentine's Day party was over the top with the Tobias Band. Everyone enjoyed the food and the great sounds of the band. It was wonderful. And the hospitality table, we didn't take anybody, but we've got a lot of people coming up. Everybody's got to be determined on when they're moving in, so they're emptying boxes. Kathy Ryder.
Okay, on February 7th, I went to the First Friday concert with the Band of the West. It was excellent. The music was just over the top, of course. The food, however, was a little disappointing. And also on the Chinese New Year, I'd like to add that it was interesting when they explained about this being the year of the snake and how the lion dance became. And then on February 13th, I took the trip to the rodeo fairgrounds, which was great. The towers even provided us with free entry tickets, which was a very nice bonus. The animals were so cute. We had fun petting them and watching them play. Many booths were set up, and you could pretty much get anything that you might need and some things that you didn't need. The weather was a little cold. We stayed about 2 hours, which seemed to be the perfect amount of time. And on the Lone Star Pickers, I did get a few reports that some of the food wasn't good, but for the most part, everybody enjoyed it.
And good, that's what we want to know. We want to know if the food's good, if the food's not very good, if the music is too loud. So I told Alex one time we sometimes need to feed people after the dance because we feed them those wonderful meals and they get too dang sleepy. All right, thank you. Alex, what do we have coming up?
Well, Jenny will let you know what we have coming up. I'm going to report off of a little bit more of February and give you some numbers. So if you haven't met Jenny, Jenny is a returner. That's not a real word. We're going to use it today, though. Returner. She actually was the events coordinator a couple years back and has worked many years at the tower. So she's our events consultant right now. So she'll be giving you what's left in March and what's coming up in April. So we talked a lot about February. Just so you know, we do head counts for these big events. We talked about Chinese New Year, Super Bowl, the Valentine's Day, and the rodeo party. Each of them, whether two of them surpassed 100 and the others were 89 and 80. So those are good attendance. That's what we want to see, especially when we're paying for entertainment. So those were successful events. For the Chinese New Year, that was a treat. That was my first time seeing it. Of course, that was the lion dance, and we said 120. There might have been a little bit more. There was standing room only for that one. So I'd like to thank Ms. May Lam for helping us coordinate that one. I do want to talk a little bit about trips. So we haven't had to cancel any trips recently, but there have been a couple of close calls, if you will. We are wanting to stick to our minimum number, especially when it's a non-ticketed event, and because sometimes that travel can be a little bit further. So we had established a minimum number of 8, and we're going to try to stick to that one. Now there's a little bit of a gray there because we have one coming up that's just right around the corner at Fort Sam that we are willing to do a minimum of 6 because we're literally just jumping in and jumping out. But we are sticking to that minimum. So just kind of reiterating that one. And we'll put it out in the newsletter just to make sure that everybody knows that minimum number. All right, so our Tuesday trips are looking good on that newer rotation. That'll be the second official month. We're seeing better numbers. Still going to Target and Ross, but that's a 4. We've got Central Market, another 4, Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, 6, and H-E-B Lincoln Heights, 6. I think last month we had 10, so people are still liking those trips and having that extra shopping time. We do take you during the month to different events. Shopping opportunities, we went to the thrift shop, we are going to the mall, so let us know if there's places that you'd like to go as a group. It's always a luxury to be able to get dropped off and then being able to be picked back up. So let us know, we'll have a rolling list. You may not see it right away, but there's plenty that's going on, so we'll just keep that rolling list going. Denise's classes continue to be successful, so we encourage new residents too to come out. Denise actually personally invites all new residents to come out and join a class. She offers them a one-on-one to see what kind of classes we offer and see what their physical goals are. Don't know if you're aware of that, but she reaches out to every new resident. So if you know of somebody maybe that's recently moved in, it's not a part of the wellness fitness area, let them know to come and try a class. Bring them with you. I think that's one of the best ways that we can get folks excited about what's going on around here. It's always better when you have a buddy. You have a question?
Alex, I wanted to ask you about the events where you take the bus. If somebody is last minute sick, gets, seriously, do they still pay the fine?
No, not if they're sick. And of
See,
course,
I think people misunderstand
yeah,
that.
so we'll
They
get a
didn't-
little clearer on that. I had someone else ask me about that too. We'll put it all out in detail. And one thing that is not understood that was deterring folks from going to the H-E-B, Walmart.
Yeah, that.
That
Go.
you don't have to worry about getting charged. There's no charge whether you go or not. We're taking
Right.
the bus for 1 or 2 people because that's our routine shopping trips.
But you should sign up.
You
or-
should sign up just to let us know, because at some point, let's say we have 12 people and we're going to
Right.
H-E-B, we get a little concerned about where we're going to put all those groceries. So we do need to know, we know what that looks like. If there are more than 8 people signed up, we will send a helper for the driver. So we need to be able to coordinate all of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll get that in the newsletter. If not in the newsletter, then maybe in the individual, something that we'll put out there. And then lastly, Mr. Carnes had his last session of his reading of short stories. His attendance just kind of fell off, so that was his last month, in case you were one of the ones that went to that. He did call me after that last session. So his reading with Bob Carnes' short stories is done. All right, any other questions? Thank you.
That sounds wonderful. And I want everyone to know, March is not even finished, and we still have a huge, huge amount of activities. You don't have to do anything but walk out your door, down the hall, get on the elevator, and come down to go to these wonderful events. And these girls put a lot of work into these events, and it takes a lot of time to put them together. I would love to see us go over the 150 mark at some of these. That's what we keep counting. Okay, sure you counted right? I would like to get some of them up to 100. And I know we can. We have got a lot of people here. Come on out, join us. It's a lot of fun. Everything they have put on has been a lot of fun. The decorations have been over the top. And Jenny, tell us what's coming up.
Okay, I'm going to fill you in on what's left for March. So on the 12th at 3 p.m., we have the Honeybees. On the 14th at 3 p.m., we have Irish Dancers. On the 17th from 4 to 6 p.m., we have our St. Patrick's Day party with Righteous Annotations, if I said that right. On the 24th at 11, we have Crafting with Liz. On the 10th, we have a home company coming in, and they're going to do a painting with a twist style.
That'll be fun.
And that should be fun. So we hope people sign up for that. On the 27th, we're going to go to the zoo, and then we'll have lunch at La Panderia. And then later that afternoon at 2 p.m., we'll have Happy Tales. The 30th, we have Roman Range as our cook's night off. And then on the 31st, we have the Briscoe Museum.
And that's just a little bit in March.
That's what's left in March, some of the highlights. And then I'd like to go over the April highlights, if that's okay with you. The calendar is still in the works, and you'll see a fiesta theme throughout the month. We're starting off on the 1st with the Army Baylor PT students coming to do some learning, and y'all will help them with their learning. They're going to need about 15 or so residents, maybe a few more, to help them practice doing their assessments and clinicals. On the 1st, we also have requested by residents to attend Mamma Mia at the Majestic. We'll have an Earth Day cleanup again on the 3rd. On the 4th, we've had a couple residents help coordinate a cemetery tour, the city cemetery and the historical meanings behind it. That sounds really interesting.
It does.
On the 6th, you're going to see, or for April, in fact, you're going to see some weekend activities come in. So on the 6th, we're looking at going to the Missions baseball game at noon. And there is a very specific side you need to sit on so you don't bake in the sun. So we'll mention that. On the 8th, we're going to try doing the Go Rio River cruises with the history tour. On the 10th, Denise will be hosting a Fiesta Craft. On the 11th, we're going to do the annual Bluebonnets and Buc-ee's road trip. On the 14th, we have a master gardener from the city coming to do a demonstration out on the back patio and teach us all about patio gardening. On the 16th, we'll have Zumba dance party at 2 p.m. in the Mimosa. On the 18th, we're going to have another wonderful visit from Tom Jackson as he portrays Ulysses S. Grant. And then that evening, we have the Towers Salsa Throwdown and Margarita Festival and Social Hour. On the 19th, as requested, we have Festival of India as a trip at 2:30 to the Civic Park at the Hemisphere. On the 22nd, we're going to do a volunteer appreciation in Club 22. And then on the 25th, our big party of the season, our Towers Fiesta and Social Hour in the Ped Mall. On the 26th, we are looking at bringing Monty the Magician at 2 p.m. And that evening, we'll have a bus going to candlelight concerts at the Josephine Theater. On the 29th, we'll have Austin Reptiles visiting the Towers. And that completes my report.
And that was a full report. That was a full report.
And that wasn't everything.
That's not everything. Sitting here listening to her talk about all these activities, I would like to challenge the residents, just yourself, it's not a test, take March and April activities and look at all we have. For the rest of March, you have plenty of time, and in April, challenge yourself to do 10 of those activities. Pick out 10 you would really like to do and say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to those. Challenge yourself and go. These are great activities. And this calendar for April is full. You haven't seen it yet, but it is full. She just highlighted a few of them. So pick some of those activities and say, I'm going to go to these. I'm going to try them out. I heard Tom Jackson I saw one of his, it was wonderful. People loved him. So challenge yourself to do that. I think that's great. Thank you, Jenny, that's great. Do we have any old business that anyone needs to talk about? Any new business or any questions? I appreciate everyone joining us this morning. Thank you for your reports. Our next meeting is April the 8th. It will be after the new board takes office. I hope you live each day with love. Love for life. Love for yourself. And most importantly, love for others. I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.